Today, I want us to look at a question in trigonometric functions, and we have a question here getting given as this. You've been told to solve for x, and the range for values of x is 0 degrees is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 360 degrees. Correct. So there the question is, and I'm told 2 times 2 over sine x plus 1 times 2 over cos x. The answer must be equal to 0. Oh my goodness, I think this is the easiest question ever in the whole world. So I can first work out the numerator, and I'll be able to have 4 over sine x being equal to 2 over cos x. And this must give us 0. I think this is what you're supposed to have. And of course, I can decide to actually say this is plus, not equal to. So I can take one of this expression on this other side of the equal sign. I'll be left with 4 over sine x is equal to 0 minus 2 over cos x. Okay, so we will proceed and get the final answer. So I'll then come here and then say 4 over sine x is equal to negative 2 over cos x. Then we can then cross multiply to make our work easier. Of course, I'm looking for a way of how I can be able to actually pick these functions or these trigonometric ratios onto the numerator side. And the only possible way to do this is to actually cross multiply these two parts. There's an equal sign here. So then we shall come here and say 4 into cos x, that is it, should be equal to negative 2 into sine x. Very easy question. Then you can be able to end up having this as our second part. So we shall be able to come here and then just start from this end. So now I have 4 cos x is equal to, so 4 cos x is equals to negative 2 sine x. Then next I'll decide to divide with the lowest number, or of course the greatest common divisor. Negative 2, negative 2. This and this will disappear. So I'll be left with the, so 4 divided by negative 2, that is negative 2 cos x is equal to sine x. Fine, no problem. What is next? It's very easy for me to just come here and say divide by cos x, divide by cos x. So that cos x and cos x will disappear. So negative 2 is equal to sine x over cos x. And of course, there is a very important trigonometric identity that tells us that cos theta and of course sine theta and tan theta having a particular relationship where sine theta divided by cos theta, you should be able to get tan theta. So that tan theta is equal to sine theta over cos theta. So sine x over cos x is tan x. Wow. Now, so what I've used here is a particular trigonometric identity that says that the sine of a particular angle divided by the cosine of that same angle, the answer must be equal to the tan of the same, or the tangent of the same angle. So and then negative 2 is equal to tan x. How do I get x? I get the tan inverse. The tan inverse of that can give us x. So what is x? The tan inverse of negative 2. So shift tan negative 2. So that gives us 63.4349. So that's just 63.43. So I'm going to have 63.43 degrees. And it's a negative value. Of course, this is a particular answer that should not be able to have a negative because there's an angle. It just tells us where the angle can actually get obtained. In that case, we can now be able to have this calculator getting serviced, in terms of the settings getting taken care of, so that you can be able to exactly see what you can have in terms of this as our answer. So let me see. So I want to have the setup. Very good. So I want my answers to be in degrees. Also number format. Okay, angle unit, fine, 2. So degree, correct. So shift tan of -2. That is fine. So we have this as our first value, and now we can be able to use what we call a unit circle to get the other value. So we can have this. You normally say in the first quadrant, all the 3 trigonometric ratios are supposed to give us a positive value in terms of their answer when you get the tangent, the cosine, then the sine. So anything from 0 degrees to 90 in terms of cos, tan, and sine must be able to give you a positive answer. Then from 90 to 180, the only trigonometric ratio that can give us a positive value is the sine. Then from 180 to 270, we're going to have the tan, and lastly the cosine. So that means the first value x can be found between 0 and 90. And for information, by the way, it is giving us a negative. So that means we are supposed to get values in the second quadrant and the third quadrant, because the tan of that answer is a negative value. So it means then we are supposed to actually get the answer in the second quadrant and the last quadrant. So let me try and see. So 360 minus 63.43. So it is giving us 296.57. So our first value of x is going to be 296.57 degrees. So that the tangent of this must give us -2. So let me see. If this is x, then tan x. So the tan of this should give us -2. So the tangent of that answer, that is -1.99, which gives us just -2. So that is the first answer for that. And the other answer must be in this second quadrant. So I can be able to say 90 plus 63.43. I just want to get a value that can actually be able to fall into this second quadrant. So that is giving us 153.43. So let me see tan of that. It cannot. So we try something else. So let me see. Then I can decide to say 270 less 63.43. So 26.57. So the tangent of that answer, it still does not give us. So let's see. Then so the tangent of 63.43, that will give us a positive answer. We want to get a negative answer. So let's see. 180 less 63.43, 116.57. So the tangent of that, and see whether it can give us negative. Okay, fine. So the other answer, so shift tan, so that I can get the answer. So 63.43. So let's see. So it is 180 less 63.43. So that gives us 116.57. So the other value of x is 116.57 degrees. So those two can give us a -2 as we end up getting their tangent, or getting the tangent of these two values can be able to give us -2. So let's meet in our next lesson.